So this is a great honor for me to introduce you to just a dear person in my life. When I started thinking about what to say to introduce you to DeNeer, knowing that once they speak, you're going to know everything you need to know about DeNeer. But I started thinking about a quote from a C.S. Lewis book called Out of the Silent Planet that I love. And it says, "When you and I first met, the meeting was over very shortly. It was nothing. But now it is growing something as we remember it. But still we know very little about it. What it will be when I remember it as I lay down to die, what it makes in me all of my days until then, that is the real meaning. And the other is only the beginning of it." So I met DeNeer Davis in person. I've been a fan of their work for a long time. But when the first Beatty's Ford Strong mural was going up in 2020, I ran out to cover it for The Biscuit, our newsletter, and saw DeNeer on a lift painting, spray painting, and came down and I was talking to another artist, and it was brief. "Hi, I'm Tim, DeNeer. I like your work. Great, got to get back to it. Move on." And that could have been the end of it. But there was just something in me that said, I want to know that individual more. And I got to know DeNeer through work, which is my preferred way, is commissioning work or doing something with someone. So through the work, I got to know DeNeer, then through mutual challenge, and then a respect for him, then regard, then reliance. I've come to rely on DeNeer, and then into love. And what I would say is that DeNeer is like a human hug. Being around them fills you with the feeling of comfort, but also challenge to love other people more. DeNeer is this weird but beautiful Venn diagram of art and agape, that love of community and love of those around you, and that challenge that you throw to say, you can do better, you can do more. DeNeer is a visual artist, a shoe artist, a teacher, a community engager, a community challenger, and a human hug, and someone I'm proud to say is a dear friend. And when they're done speaking, you'll think to yourself, I hope this is the beginning. I know this is the beginning of something beautiful, and what DeNeer's words make in you for the rest of your days will be beautiful and special. DeNeer Davis, everyone. Oh, you're mic'd.
Good morning, everybody. It's a lot. You guys look beautiful this morning. So I want you guys to do me a favor. Clap one time if you're feeling good. Clap 2 times if you're feeling great. All right, so we're gonna do something really swiftly before I get into my talk. I want everybody to close their eyes, and we're gonna do 4 breaths in and 4 breaths out for 4 times, all right? So just take your time, and I want you to just breathe in. I don't want you to think about your worries of the day, the worries of your life, your trials, your tribulations. I just want you to take 4 breaths in and 4 breaths out. As you guys begin to come back to your awareness, your present awareness to me, I want everybody to scream out on the count of 3, I am amazing, okay? 1, 2, 3. Let's get it. Give a round of applause for yourself. Hey, one more thing, y'all. I got my great grandma with me, so give it up for my 91-year-old great grandma. It's crazy. This month is truth. I got asked to speak on the word truth, and I was like, wow, like I go to define the word truth in Google, and Google defined the word truth as No, I actually typed in what is truth. And Google said the quality and state of being true. Right, right. So I go to look up the word true. Same thing, the quality and state of being truthful. So when I think about the word truthful, I think about the word honesty and I think about being honest. Have I always been honest in my life? Of course not. Are we always honest? Of course not. But I want to start with my journey, my own personal journey and my own truth. Because when I began to look up the word truth and look up everybody else's truth and speeches on truth and to thy own self be true, T. Hart Ecker on integrity, Jordan Peterson on truth, those things just didn't fit me. Those weren't my truths. Those weren't my realities. So I'm going to start and I'm going to give you guys my truth. I will tell you it is semi a trigger warning. I want to let people know my truth is a trigger warning, could be possibly a trigger warning for you guys. But I want to start that I recently found out as a baby coming out the womb that the umbilical cord was wrapped around me. So I wasn't even breathing. So I'm not even supposed to be here. So that's my first truth. So I'm just happy to be in front of you guys right now and being able to speak. Secondly, as we fast forward, I had a lot of trauma in my life. So I want to speak on that truth as well. So growing up, my family and I, we weren't really the richest of the richest. We didn't come from the best side of Charlotte. I am Charlottean born and raised, so give it up. Sorry, you guys. I might get a little emotional, so bear with me, okay? So growing up, we didn't have much as a family, and we ended up having to spend time at my grandma's house. So I have a brother and a sister, and we ended up having to move into my grandma's house. So it was me, my grandma, my brother, and my sister, and I ended up sleeping on my grandma's floor. That's my truth. So going to school, people didn't know I was sleeping on my grandmother's floor. Next, we move on. Basketball. I used to be a basketball player before I became an artist. That's my third truth. Basketball is life. Ball is life. And if anybody ever played ball or you watch basketball, you know ball is life. So I never saw myself being an artist. I want you guys to know that. But I had a devastating ACL tear injury that took me, a career-ending injury that took me out in 2011. I had the surgery in 2013, and I thought I was going to be able to come back. I fell into depression and deep depression, and I couldn't play anymore. So from my depression, I started doing art. And it was the craziest thing because I'm like, I never went to school for art. I don't know anything about art. I don't know any artists except my sister. I don't know the art scene in Charlotte. All I know is basketball, 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 basketball. So I'm in my room, and if you've never torn an ACL before, they have this machine that you get to sit in, and it moves you back and forth, like your leg is limp. You just dragging it across like this. This is all you can do. And so this is where I'm at. I go from playing basketball to doing this. So as I'm rehabbing, I have a sketchbook, and I draw peace, love, and happiness. And I posted it online. And when I posted it online, one of my coworkers saw it. I had a job at the time, and one of my coworkers saw it, and they asked me to do a piece for their son and their daughter. They asked me to draw their names in graffiti. So I was like, all right, I could do this. This is a thing. And I'm gonna charge $20 for this. Now I want to tell you why I wanted to charge $20. A part of me I have this hustler mentality. So I already used to hustle. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make $20 off this canvas. So I go figure out on YouTube. I went to YouTube University and I figured out how to spray paint. So I go get some spray paint and I learned how to draw the name, tape it off, spray the back, took it, and they liked it. So I was like, oh, I just made $20. So I go to work and I'm like, hey guys, I do this. You can get this for your kids. You can get this for a holiday. You can, you know, $20 turn into $20, turn into $20. So I was like, oh, this is a thing. Next thing I know, I'm posting more online. And the art scene back when I started doing art wasn't as big as it is now. And so shout out to the art scene in Charlotte right now. It has grown tremendously. Now, part of me wish you guys could see the slides, but you couldn't. But my art wasn't always as bright as it is today. I had started, at one point in my career, I transitioned to a place where I fell back into depression. And in my depression state, I started drawing like dragons with like red eyes and these like scary figures that like represented what was going on internally with me. And through that internal conflict that I was having, on the outside to the world, I seemed to be like this perfect, well fit, put together person. But deep down inside, I was battling mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally things that I couldn't even like think of or talk about, that I didn't feel comfortable talking about to the outside world. I drank a lot of alcohol to cope with the things that I was battling internally. And then I would face people and I'd be laughing, smiling, and joking, but that wasn't my truth. The truth was deep down inside, I really didn't want to be here. So as I fast forward at the age of 29, I was standing in front of a group of people, not as big as you guys, but I said my very last poem. And it was on my birthday night, 26 years ago. So 6 years ago on my birthday night, I got up to say a poem and they were giving out free drinks. And you guys know, if you don't know, when the liquor hit the system, it takes hold of you. And so I get a ride home that night and I throw my things in the back of the car that I was riding in. And the person that took me home said, "You look like you had a demon inside of you." And so I get home, I throw the things, I throw my easel, I throw everything into the parking lot, and I run upstairs, and they run behind me, and I scream, "Get out. You're gonna leave me like my mom left me. You're gonna leave me like everybody leaves me. Like everybody has always left me. You're gonna leave me." And I run into the kitchen, and I grab a knife, and I'm getting ready to take it through my neck, and they put their hand right there, and I heard a faint voice say, "You don't love yourself." In the midst of that, I've never in my life, in 29 years, heard anyone say, "You don't love yourself." No one has ever looked at me and been like, you don't look like yourself." You know why? Because no one knew who I truly was. I didn't know who I truly was. So in that moment, in that instance of hearing that faint voice, "You don't love yourself," the next day I went to go work on myself. In the midst of working on myself, I went to look up meditation. What is meditation? Because meditation isn't talked about in the Black community, and it wasn't talked about in my household. I didn't know meditation. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know how it would change my life. I didn't know that just by taking a couple deep breaths and slowing down the thoughts that were racing in my head, that this would be the change of trajectory in my course and my action, and to help me see and realize what my purpose was in life. So as I began to start meditating, the first time I meditated, the first 2 seconds, I heard a bunch of noise, a bunch of chatter, and I couldn't get through that. So I said I was going to quit. I don't want to do this. But then I was like, you know what? This is the last step out of everything in my life. I'm going to try this because I've been to therapy. I've tried the other route, which is not the route. I'm clearly supposed to be here for a reason. So I tried meditation again. The next time I got through 2 minutes. The next time I got through 5 minutes. When I got to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and nothing was happening in my mind, I was like, wow, I'm tripping. This is not real. This is not really happening to me. And I'm sitting there, and I guess I was amazed because this isn't talked about. And so from there, I went to find like love. What is love? What does love mean? And why don't we talk about this enough? And why don't we spread this enough? And why don't we spread joy and happiness? And why are we, or why am I the way I am? And so I went to go find love. And in my journey of finding love and in my truth and finding out who I am, I found that love is deep inside of you. And you're the one that has to exude love. And you're the one that has to bring it out into the world. So deep down inside, I started to love, and my art the colors started to change from red to like these bright blues, and the sky started being blue. And I cleaned up like how I was eating, and I put down the bottle, and I put down, like I used to smoke Black and Milds, so I put down the Black and Milds, and everything just started to become bright, and people just started to look like really colorful. And I was like, I'm tripping, man. I'm not on no psychedelic, but I'm tripping. And I was like, man, when I look, the truth is, and the reality is, what I decide to exude on the inside and show on the outside, people shine that back to me. So when I wanted to see people happy, I be truly happy. They could feel that. And I was like, man, this is cool. So when I paint on my paintings, if I paint love on my paintings, people can feel that. So I wrote a goal. I started writing goals. I started reading books, and I started drinking water, like a lot of water. It'll change your life, y'all. It'll change your life. All right. So I started drinking a lot of water, and I say all that in that sentence to say that when I started journaling and when I started reading, I learned to write a forgiveness journal. And in that forgiveness journal, I had to face some things I really didn't want to face. But if I wanted to clear myself and free myself from the burdens or the things that were holding me back, I had to forgive the things I've done and forgive what I perceived people had done to me. So in this forgiveness journal, I would write in this forgiveness journal every day. I started doing gratitude. We didn't do gratitude at the house. Growing up, we didn't do gratitude. We didn't say thank you just for the simple things. Thank you for I'm thankful that I even had a place to go when it came to my grandmother, because some people don't have that. So I started a gratitude journal, and then I started a manifestation journal. And I'm gonna tell you guys, if you don't do nothing else, if you don't leave this talk with nothing else, get you a journal and manifest. Write in there what you want to see come true. Because listen, I'm telling you, I was a basketball player and I'm a turned artist, and everything I have written in that journal, every single thing I have written in that journal has come true. It might not come when you want it, but it's going to come. It might not come on your time, but it's going to come. So fast forward, here we are in 2022, and okay, let me backtrack. I'm sorry, guys. I want to backtrack. So I had a speech, but Tim was like, don't do the TED Talk thing, so I'm not. I'm speaking from the heart. No, I'm seriously speaking my truth. So I want to backtrack to where I used to have a job, and I wrote a plan in my job that I wanted to quit my job in 5 years, and I wanted to pursue art full time. And so in my plan, I paid my car off, paid off the things I needed to do, cleared my debt, all of that. And I ended up quitting the job a year before ahead of time. And so when I realized that art truly was for me and I'm truly walking into my passion and doing the things that I want to do and that I desire, I was able to start paying my bills with art. And so with that, it allotted time to be able to go out in the community and do the things that I want to do, which is spread love and inspire people to be the best version of themselves that they could be. So I want to say, fast forward now, I'm a full-time artist. I do this 100% of the time. And I just go out and I talk to people. That's my truth. Like, the students ask me, well, Miss Davis, what do you do? And as I look, I'm like, what do I do? I mean, you look around and you look and you're like, I do so much. So what actually do you do? Like, what is your thing that you do? What is your truth? And I'm like, honestly, I just talk to people. If I actually just sit down, I'm doing the thing I want to do, which was inspire. It started out to be 1,000 people. My goal was just to inspire 1,000 people because I had never felt as good as I felt coming out of meditation. I had never felt as good as that moment. And then once I got that moment, I just wanted that moment to be for other people. But then I realized other people have to want that moment. So the only thing that my job and my mission is to do, and my truth is to spread that to you, and you take with that what you want to do. So I do want to say within that, I had a lot of trauma getting to that point. I want to say that in 2009, my father was shot in an attempted robbery, and I'm grateful that he is still with us today. I do have this vest. So my dad had to learn to walk again, and he also he lost feeling in his fingers. And so on my vest, this is the vest that my dad had to use to learn how to stand up straight again. And on there I have, "Dear Dad, I'm so happy you are still here to share life with your family, friends, and loved ones. I love you, DeNeer." I want to say before my dad got shot, my mom had heart surgery. She had immediate heart surgery. She had a clogged artery and was suffering from a heart attack. Fast forward, my grandma fell into a diabetic coma. And then I found out last year, she called me on my way back from New Jersey to tell me she had got diagnosed with breast cancer. So through all this, I say persevere through what you're going through. My family and my truth is we have been evicted, we have been put out, we have lost cars, we at one point lost hope. But the one thing is you gain that stuff back and you don't give up. Whatever you do in life, you persevere, you push through, and you keep going. So I want to share with you guys, I found a journal entry from 11/4/2022. If you guys don't mind, I'll share with you. DeNeer. All right. God, thank you for today. a day I have never seen and will never see again. Thank you for grace, mercy, patience, kindness, and truth. Thank you for life, health, and strength. Thank you for honesty, a pure heart. Thank you for clothes on my back, food on the table, and a roof over my head. Thank you for today. Discipline myself so that desires can be fulfilled. My heart's desire is to help people become the best version of themselves they can be, inspire 1 million people to become the best version of themselves they can be, exude love, radiate with love, live in love, function through love. No doubt in my mind or heart that you will guide me in the path of least resistance on this journey. Thank you for holding me and keeping me. Thank you for everything you have done and will continue to do. I apologize and forgive myself from learning from the past and growing from it. The corrective action will be to be honest with myself when I earn money from art and put it away so I can leave Cisco. I am grateful for financial freedom. I am grateful for my time that I am borrowing to make Earth a better place. Living from my heart space, radiating from my heart space, loving from my heart space. I can do all things. Ask, seek, knock. Write it on tablets. The borrower is slave to the lender. I fear no man. I fear nothing. I operate out of love, for life is but a dream. I am strong in the mind, lacking in nothing. I am resilient. Proverbs 11:14. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. So that's my journal entry from 2 years ago. I also had a couple affirmations that I wanted us to say back to each other. If you guys give me 1 second. All right. So I got 10 affirmations that I want us, when I say one, I want you guys to repeat back to me. And the first one is, I am amazing. I am abundant. I am brilliant. I am bold. I am creative. I am compassionate. I am love. I am honest. I am living in my truth. I am valued. I am unique. And I am beautiful. All right, before I leave you guys today, I want you to know this. In life, you'll go through trials, you'll go through tribulations, but I'm going to tell you this. In the eye of the hurricane, there's the calm. And on the outside is all the stuff that happens, right? All the chaos, all the wickedness, all the things that we perceive as bad. But in the inside, that's your time to sit still and look on the outside and look at everything that's happening around you. Because when the storm is finished and when the storm is done, sometimes there are houses still standing and sometimes there's debris. And you'll be that house that's standing on the outside as long as you take the time on the inside to make sure that you're right and that you're looking at all the things that are happening around you and not taking part in those things that are happening in that whirlwind, but just observing those things and how you can move forward to be the best version of yourself that you can be. I want to leave you guys with 5 questions, and you guys can take these questions and put them in your phone if you don't have something to take notes with. All right, so first question, what drains your spirit? Second question, what feeds your soul? Third question, what makes you come alive? Fourth question, what most matters to you? Fifth question, who are you at your core? And these questions are, how well do you know yourself?